Hey, what's going on, tech enthusiasts? BooHD here. I hope you guys are doing well. This is the Noon VR virtual reality headset. Unless you're a loyal subscriber of mine, chances are you are probably watching this review because you stumbled upon the headset on Amazon, as it's a fairly inexpensive virtual reality headset that costs just $89. Now, I'm a virtual reality fanatic. I've tested Google Cardboard, I've tested Oculus Rift, and I've even reviewed the Gear VR headset. But when I was offered to review the Noon VR headset, I really didn't need much convincing. So this is the Noon VR headset in this very elegant and just well-designed box. On one side we have a list of features, and on the other side we have a quote that says, "Any phone, anywhere, transcend your reality." The top slides open and there are a handful of items in the box. We have the protective cover, the headset itself, a cleaning cloth, and an instructions pamphlet with activation code that you will need, so don't throw this paper away, it's very important. The headset itself is made of plastic, which is to be expected for its price. It's lightweight, doesn't add a ton of weight to your head, which ultimately will reduce fatigue, so plastic is a good choice here. There are no buttons around the device, we have a focus dial, and really that's about it. There are some vents on each quadrant to help prevent the lenses from steaming up, and the lenses themselves are very well made. They are wide-angle lenses, which will help you view more content, and they won't cause as much eye fatigue as traditional lenses. Now, the Noon VR headset works with any smartphone with a display size between 4.7 inches and 5.5 inches in length, as mentioned in the user manual. And all you will need to do is just slide your smartphone under the elastic strap, and you are really good to go. But before you do that, you will need to download the Noon VR app, which can be done by going to the Play Store or the App Store. This is where you'll need that user manual to enter in the activation code and register your mobile device. You can register up to 2 devices. I would like to be able to register more devices in the future, but 2 isn't too bad. So the app itself is pretty unique for VR apps. There is a recommended section, a popular section, new and 360 section. You can download videos to your device to play back offline, and you can even upload your own 2D or 360 degree videos. I think this is super unique because as the Noon VR headset has time to grow and mature and just become more popular, the content is really only going to get much more rich. So far, there are some pretty neat demos. I really do like the flight demo and the aquarium demo, but I haven't even really scratched the surface. There are a lot of demos on here, some that are certainly better than others, but once again, the content will only improve from the selection they already have now since content is uploaded via other users. But how does the Noon VR headset function? How does it work? This has always been the toughest part for me because I can't really show you guys how the content looks. It's one of those experiences that's only really felt when you're physically wearing the headset, but I'll do my best. First of all, in testing, I'm using the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, which has a 5.7-inch QHD Super AMOLED display. It's a little bit bigger than the recommended display size of 5.5 inches, but once again, in my testing, I actually found it to work just fine. My recommendation is to use a smartphone with a QHD resolution display, meaning a 2560 by 1440p resolution, because when you're holding a display this close to your face, you're going to notice a lot more pixels than when you hold a display this far from your face. On a 1080p display, like on the iPhone 6 Plus, for example, you're going to notice more pixels than when you're using a smartphone like a Note 5, which features a QHD resolution display. Now, the iPhone 6 Plus and the iPhone 6, they will work, but they won't offer the best experience. Now, I mentioned the headset is very light. I never felt like my head was getting too tired from wearing the headset. It does feature a top strap to help kind of keep the headset securely fastened to my head, which certainly does help reduce fatigue. It is Velcro, so it can be adjusted easily. Overall, I think it's very comfortable. There's no real complaints here. I am really impressed though with how Noon VR is able to use and rely entirely on software to navigate the menus and content, since there are no physical buttons on this device. To reorient the display, you just tap on the elastic strap once, and to activate the settings, you double tap on the elastic strap. Then from there, you will see a green dot so that you can move over an icon to select it. You have the ability to view the time and the battery life. You can skip to an earlier or later point in a video, change the volume, view a list of content, lock the screen, and go to the settings. The settings menu itself is kind of cool because you can change the screen resolution and the field of view, as well as switch the audio to mono and switch flat video to 360 degree video. I don't want to say my standards were set pretty low, but I am impressed with the number of options here and the ability to toggle all the options without having to use a controller. I believe Noon actually has a patent pending on the UI, which is kind of cool. But without being able to truly show you how it looks and how it feels, I will say this, it does rely on the embedded gyro sensor in the smartphone that you are using, which means it's not going to be the absolute best headset for head tracking. There are some VR headsets on the market that do feature additional sensors built into the headset itself, but they do cost anywhere from 3, 4, 5 times as much as the price of the Noon VR headset. But the Noon VR app itself is actually optimized for smooth head tracking and just smooth performance overall, and it does also consume about 3 to 40% of the power compared to competitive VR apps. Now, I found on other headsets that rely on smartphones like the Gear VR, you are strictly required to use the Gear VR app, and if you try to use a different app, it simply just will not work, or you'll have a tougher time in general trying to get other apps to work. I found it kind of cool to see that the Noon VR headset itself kind of does rely on other VR apps on the Play Store or the App Store. They even have a list of recommended apps on the Google Play Store or the App Store, which is pretty neat. Not something that I see on other competitive devices. And really many of the recommended apps themselves include games. So yes, you can game on the Noon VR headset, which is kind of cool. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit skeptical about how this headset would perform for its price. It looked kind of like a fancier Google Cardboard VR headset, but upon further inspection, it looks like the company behind Noon VR is really determined to make a successful product. Everything from the packaging to the user interface of the app, it's all very well designed, and even though the physical headset itself doesn't look or feel like a terribly premium device, the experience it offers says otherwise. It's not bad for the money, and it's only going to get better as more VR content is created and uploaded to the app. If you're in the market for a virtual reality headset, you want something better than Google Cardboard, but you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a headset from Samsung or Oculus, then I think the Noon VR headset is really the best choice on the market, and it's kind of the best bang for your buck as it costs just $89. I'll leave a link to check out the Noon VR headset on Amazon, which will be down below in the description bar for your convenience. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It really does help show your support. If you're brand new, maybe hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next review, which should be hitting your sub boxes here very shortly. And you know, you could share this video with somebody who might be wanting to get into the VR world, journey into the virtual reality world. But as always, guys, I'm BoHD. Thank you for watching. I'll see you right back here in the next one. See ya.